And hello, everybody. This is No Shots Fired, podcast episode 58. We didn't have a great title this week, so we're gonna go with kind of just that, just a big long question at the end of it, just like that one right there. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about Luigi's Mansion, the third one. Eon Super 64, don't know that. Kirby, Nightmare in Dreamland. I know about Kirby, don't know about his Nightmare in Dreamland. Morrowwind, Dungeons & Dragons. The topic du jour for the evening is the next game each of us is going to purchase when we purchase a game. So boy, howdy, you're going to want to hear that one. And finally, we're going to end with your questions. So everybody in chat, let's get those questions out there. And hopefully, God willing, we can get to all of them in the 45 or so minutes we have reserved.
So rarely are we able to do that, but we keep trying.
It's again, the problem is we only set aside like 45 minutes for questions, and you can only, just power through them so quickly. Anyway, we're going to start off with Luigi's Mansion, the third installment. I believe Doc has been playing that.
Yes.
That'll lead us right into the... How long has it been? Just 1 second. This feels rushed. It's like, how long has it been since we have had a podcast?
Well, here, let me tell you. The last one... Let's go to the No Shots Fired YouTube channel. YouTube.com/something.
Oh, yeah. Fired. Make sure you like, follow.
Yeah. It says 1 month ago.
Man, it feels like a lot longer.
January. Okay, that's more than a... What? Okay, almost 2 months. January 18th.
2 months. That feels more accurate, because this intro felt so bad. Everything that's going on right now just feels wrong.
I think we've been doing great. I think the music's going to help in post.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And by post, I mean right now, because the music's playing. But
post production team these days.
I actually might start putting some effort into it now that we're recording in less transient environments, I guess, is what I will say. So
I thought the background noise added an element of realism to
it could, but it also there was a bit of give and take on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I was giving a lot of.
Sometimes the playlist would give, sometimes the playlist would take.
Yeah. Well,
But yes, third Luigi's Mansion game for the Nintendo Switch. I've been playing it with my soon-to-be 4-year-old son, which has been interesting. So I can speak to kind of the horror aspect of this game, in that there is none.
Really? Okay.
Which is fun.
Nothing.
It's very silly. Luigi's afraid of everything, but he's a very silly boy.
Mm-hmm.
The ghosts are very whimsical and fun. They have very good names that I should remember. I think there was a cop ghost called Cruller, which is good because that's a type of donut.
Right, that's fun. It's fun for everyone.
So kind of, exploring different floors of this haunted hotel, trying to save your buds. Basic Luigi's Mansion fare. But I've enjoyed kind of exploring the floors to this point. I think I've gone through 5 or 6 of them. And actually, the last 1 or 2 boss fights have gotten a little more complicated than I expected.
How do the boss fights work? Is it like a mini puzzle kind of thing?
There's like a puzzle aspect to be able to weaken them. Because like Luigi's Mansion, you have like this vacuum cleaner that you suck up ghosts with. And you try to like stun them so that you can get the vacuum in there and start sucking them up. And then like you can slam them once they're in the vacuum's hold. What?
So you gotta weaken them until you can suck them.
Yep.
And then you
gotta suck them right off their perch.
Okay. And then once they've been sucked.
Yeah, so they have like hit points basically. And once you get them in there, you can start slamming them on the floor, which is very satisfying, and that takes away hit points, and then they break away, and you can kind of go through cycles like that. But the cop had sunglasses on, so you have like a flashlight that you flash to like stun them for most of the low level ghosts, but you couldn't do that with him, and then so you had to figure out a way to get the sunglasses off. Which was like, different ways you could hit him with stuff, I think.
So you could suck him.
Yeah, so you can suck him.
Okay.
Lots of sucking. You can also blow but that's not as effective. I found
Interesting. All right.
at getting the job done.
Okay.
But
I have a question on the creative direction they took this franchise. I heard that everything's whimsical and fun, up until the point where Luigi is conquered by the ghosts, and then they put in really gratuitous, gory deaths. Now, what do you think?
Okay. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm the level I'm on right now is a castle, so maybe we're gonna get into some torture aspects of it. But so far in the castle, Luigi got scared by a mechanical dragon, but that's about it. The fun part, the interesting part of this one is you have a buddy made of goo called Gooigi, so that's very good. And so he pops out of your backpack, and then in the form of Luigi, and Luigi's consciousness goes into Gooigi, and you move around.
There's a lot of implications to this.
Yes. So Gooigi has a vacuum cleaner as well, but can go through different areas that Luigi can't. But also, so you can set up. There's puzzles that you set up where it has to be sucking one thing, so Luigi can suck another thing, which opens a door. And then there's been there's a mini boss fight that I actually control Gooigi to get the ghost following him, then switched over to Luigi so I could hit the back of him, which is the weak point. So that was kind of fun, kind of going back and
Multiple
forth.
levels of sucking to get the suck.
Oh yeah. You really got to be on your suck game to be
with a gooey sucker.
with Gooigi, and he comes out and it kind of sounds like a fart, so that's fun.
Okay. Oh god. Okay.
The other good part is that Gooigi is afraid of nothing, because he is a golem, basically. So the ghosts try to scare him, and then act very puzzled because he looks like Luigi, but does not freak out. So that's good for some comedy moments. He can't deal with water. He melts into formless goo upon contact with water. So
question.
Yes.
Can you die in this game?
Yes, you can.
Okay. What happens when you die?
So I've only died once, and I had just gotten, it's called a gold bone or something, because Luigi has a ghost dog friend, and that's an extra life kind of thing. So I used one of those on the last boss fight, which was a composer ghost who haunted this piano that would do all this different stuff. So I haven't died for real yet, so I can't report on what happens when that. I assumed you just go back to a checkpoint, but yeah.
So you haven't seen the
no, I have not.
Gratuitous score that.
No, I have not seen that.
Painstaking detail. I hear.
I've heard good things because you can do co-op, so someone can one person can control Gooigi, some person controls Luigi. So and that's supposed to be
Can
very
be sucking at the same time.
Yeah, double suck. And that's supposed to be well done. People have enjoyed doing that. My son is not quite to that level yet, because these controls are not the. There's a lot of different stuff you can do, so it's kind of more complicated than you think a Mario kind of family, a game in the Mario family would be. But he enjoys sitting and watching and pointing out the ghosts to me, so that's good.
I'd like to welcome, as a brief aside, Curly McSweeter to the chat. Really enjoying the amount of suck talk. And I think we can all thank Luigi's Mansion 3 for that.
People come here for the real shit, and that's what we give them. So
what's the vacuum called that Luigi uses?
The Poltigust 2000, I think. There's a different. And then each game he has a communication. So there's Dr. Egad is your Q equivalent. Mm-hmm. And he always gives you a fun communication device that's whatever the mobile system is at the time. Mm-hmm. But since there's not really a discrete mobile system, you get a Virtual Boy, which is funny. And then they kind of make fun of the Virtual Boy in the game, so that's good. A fun game, very good looking. Lighting effects are very good. So, hope to do more of it, but, I'm moving at a 4-year-old pace, which is not the fastest in the world. But
yeah.
How many of the levels? How much does he actually do?
Oh, he does nothing. He sits there and watches.
Okay.
we've done a little bit where I'll give him a controller and he'll run around in like the beginning Mario 64 area or something to that effect, or we'll do Mario Kart where the new Mario Kart has it where it will drive and turn kind of by itself, but he can also like do that and use the items and stuff. So very beginning stages of the video game career for the boy.
But an important stage, get him adapted early.
Oh, yeah.
Get those reflexes, start honing those.
Yeah, and he'll watch some Link to the Past randomizer races with me, so I'm doing a great job so far.
Which brings us.
Oh, I put two of my things in a row.
Oh no. Oh, Doc, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to read out of order.
No, this is a quick one. I can just real quick.
Whoa, I mean that's a lot of talking for you. I feel like you gotta.
I know, but then I can shut up for a while.
Well, at least let me do the transition.
Okay.
Let Junkblade do the transition.
Got it.
And that leads us seamlessly into...
Speaking of Mario 64...
the next thing that Doc was going to talk about.
Yes,
Which
okay.
I have already forgotten what it is, because I am not looking at the list.
The Eon Super 64. So...
Yes.
As loyal listeners to the program will know, I'm very much a fan of playing old systems, but on being able to play them on like new TVs, which has a host of issues. But so there's been a couple of systems I've gotten FPGA for the NES and the Super Nintendo and stuff, but there really hasn't been much for the Nintendo 64. Beyond like modding your console for RGB and stuff that's beyond my capability or level of interest. I've had music going this entire time. Holy shit. Okay.
Wait, we've got music going in the background.
It's good. It's very easy listening. So anyway, I was looking for something because like the 64 is kind of one of the few systems I'm missing in terms of an HDMI solution.
Okay.
And what they have is this little guy, this little adapter that plugs right into the back of the Nintendo 64. It's got an HDMI out.
It's an awesome looking adapter.
Yes, it's very cool. And it's got a little button here that like does additional smoothing. So you can have it kind of be hard pixel edges, but if you guys have played Nintendo 64 games, you know that they were not really designed with that in mind. So the crisp pixel look is not great for the Nintendo 64. And I would say I've got it over here. I would kind of hook it up and throw it on here, but it doesn't. When I did it into my capture card, it like filled the screen like 16:9. And that doesn't look quite as good, but when I do it on my TV, it's 4:3, and it looks really nice and sharp.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure that out still before I throw it on screen. But it's a cool little device. So it kind of eliminates any input lag and just lets me throw it on any TV I want. So been doing a little Nintendo 64 playing.
Now Curly has said in chat the controller question mark incredible. Can you explain to me what he's talking about?
Hang on, let me look behind me. No controllers. No, I cannot.
Okay. All right.
So hopefully he elaborates. I mean, I can put a Nintendo 64 controller here.
Chat for a minute.
You sent a link with the green N64 Oh, okay. Okay, that's related to a different Nintendo 64 kind of thing that Junkblade and I are planning. But yes, that is a cool controller.
Things in the mix.
Yeah, lots of plans. But yeah, that's it. A cool little...
A lot of plans, a lot of dreams. And sometimes those dreams turn into nightmares in Dreamland Kirby.
Oh man, nice.
Right.
So, speaking of a game where there is a lot of sucking involved.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, right there we go. Great transition.
Most Kirby games involve such things. Nightmare in Dreamland is from the Game Boy Advance era, and I distinctly recall the usual problem most people had with the Game Boy Advance, which was it did not have a backlit screen, so I was desperately looking for any
I
decent
forgot
light
about
source
that.
once it got dark.
Yeah, that first revision was rough.
Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland is, if I recall correctly, a remake of the Game Boy game Kirby in Dreamland, and it is, I think, the Nightmare in Dreamland is, I think, the first Kirby game that I can actually recall playing. And that's the main reason I decided to replay it, is because of nostalgia value. I am most of the way through the game at this point. I think I'm on world 6 out of 7 or 8. Uh, most of the stages are very short. You'll have maybe 6 or 7 per world, and then you can finish them in 3 or 4 minutes. And I'm sure people who are actually good at the game can do it in like 1 or 2.
Kirby's never been a super difficult series. That's for sure.
No, at least not the games that I've played.
No, I think that's kind of the thing. Is it's kind of meant to be kind of an easier platformer, but they're still fun.
And this, of course, has some of the classic sort of enemies and power-ups from the series. The only one I can remember offhand the specific name of is Waddle Doo, the pudgy guy that is just a big walking eye for the most part.
What about
He has
Waddle
an
Dee?
I-beam attack. There's also Waddle Dee, who I don't believe gives any upgrade at all. But I might
A lot
have
of
those.
thought into these boss names.
And King DDD.
And yeah,
Really?
King DDD in World 8, I think.
Is
Then,
Meta Knight in this game?
Yes, he's the boss just before King DDD in World 7.
And that exhausts my Kirby character knowledge.
Well, after you beat King DDD, there's also the ultimate boss of the game, NME.
Boy, they just went like straight from the draft.
Oh, there's that tree that it's on that Smash Brothers stage. The tree boss.
Wispy Woods.
Yeah, there we go. Good tunes in Kirby games. Is the music good in this one?
The music is very good. Have not had a complaint about any of the music. Not even a little bit.
Cool.
Do people complain about the music a lot? I would imagine that'd be something they would get riled up about.
Well, GBA didn't have the best sound chip, that's for sure. So,
and I do feel like when people dislike the music to something, they are very vocal about it.
Yeah.
Because I think it has to be very bad for you to kind of notice. Like, there's mediocre music, which is just non-memorable and is there in the background. And then there's music that is actively bad, and you just notice the entire time.
Yeah, like I want a Golden Sun remake mainly just so I can hear the music at a good bit rate.
I never beat Golden Sun. I never even beat like the first
Which
game.
one's Golden Sun?
It's
It was
that character.
Isaac.
Ice Stick?
No, Isaac is one. It's one of them, right?
I honestly can't remember. It's been so long.
It was a cool RPG.
What is the Golden Sun?
It's a sun. It's golden.
I just remember it as kind of being infamous for being a game that you beat, and then you found out there was a second half that they hadn't released because they couldn't actually fit it all onto one cartridge.
Yeah, the second one. I haven't beat the second one. I think I did beat the first one. Dark Dawn or something like that.
Cool.
Oh yeah, fun RPG, puzzle solving.
Yeah. Nightmare in Dreamland has been very fun, and once I get in the mood to play it again, should be able to finish the rest off one night at a leisurely pace, which is how I prefer to play my games.
Always good.
Unless I'm feeling like doing a speed run, of course, which I still need to plan my speed run of X3.
Yes, I want to see it.
I want to do it.
Okay, we are in alignment. Speaking of alignment,
yeah,
Morrowwind.
I want to hear this one.
Okay, so
No. I want to hear the rest of that transition.
That was it. I had it. I was out. I was done. I was free. No one had caught me.
I do
Then you pulled me right back into the quicksand.
So Morrowind is the third game in the Elder Scrolls series. The most famous, of course, being Skyrim.
Tamriel.
And the one before that being Oblivion, which, in my personal opinion, is the worst of the three that I've played.
Oh, spitting the hot takes. Take that, Patrick Stewart.
Well,
you start in like the dungeons with
With
Emperor.
Patrick Stewart.
yes.
Dies right away.
Junkblade, Patrick
Yes.
Stewart.
I am not dissing Patrick Stewart.
It sounds like you're throwing
Yes,
some serious
Sir Patrick Stewart.
shit at Jean-Luc Picard, and he doesn't take that.
I am not.
There are 4 lights, Junkblade.
I
So
don't like that reference.
I also don't.
The four lights.
So, out of these 3 games that I played, I have not played the first 2, and they are even older, so I probably never will. Morrowind has the tradition that both Oblivion and Skyrim do, of the main quest being by far the most boring part of the entire game. And I don't know why that is just a consistent thing with this series.
Well, I think the fact that it builds it so much on like your own exploration and your own kind of character building, right? And like the least interesting part of that is going to be the part that they kind of force you down the path. Like I remember being interested in Skyrim's story, but I got distracted every 30 seconds. I could never keep track of it.
Oh my God, I remember this episode, Doc.
Morrowind is kind of the same way.
Yeah.
The story itself is fine, but there's parts of it that are just miserable to go through. Like, the part I'm at currently, where I am trying to avoid looking up a guide on how to do this time. I have to find... so, your character in Morrowind is the reincarnation of an ancient hero that was slain by the 3 false gods of the land.
Ooh.
And there is even more to this story that I literally do not have time to get into, otherwise it would take up the entire stream.
We all thank you for that.
But are these Daedric gods?
No.
Okay.
These are...
Never mind. I tried. That's just like I remember Daedric being a thing in Skyrim, and I tried to contribute, but I failed.
These are 3 mortals who killed a Daedric god and stole his power.
Okay, close enough.
And so you go through the story. You have to basically prove to all these people that you are this reincarnated hero, which the part I'm at currently involves literally trekking across the entire map and going to the heads of different clans and saying, here's my story. This proves that I am this person. And tracking down the heads of these clans is just not fun at all. And so that's my description for why I am not that fond of the main plot. But the game itself, if you just go off and do your own thing, like most people do in most Elder Scrolls games, is very fun. It is an original Xbox era game, came out in 2002, for the Xbox and PC. So, of course, the graphics are kind of...
fantastic.
But something that I've kind of noticed about that era of games is they tended to have more options than, like, later renditions of those same games. Like, you have more weapon, spell, and potion options in Morrowind than you do in Oblivion. And there's kind of a similar thing with the change from Fable 1 to Fable 2, where they cut out a bunch of options that were in the first game. And sometimes as a franchise goes along, that happens even more and more options just die off, which tends to make later versions of the games feel rather samey to me. Like, oh, why would I go with this specific option when this other option is literally just the same sort of thing?
But sometimes you get to yell like a dragon, so that's good.
Yes, Skyrim is...
Dragon shout.
Dragon shout!
There are 4 lights! I tell you number 2 by the end. I swear I only saw 3.
Turned out one had burnt out, but they didn't replace it.
I definitely think Skyrim was an improvement over Oblivion in many ways.
Ooh. Bringing it for Oblivion.
That might be a topic for another night. In regards to Morrowind, there are also some things that exist in the game because it's an older game that I feel kind of add to the charm in a weird way. An example is, say you walk into a nearby cavern and fight with a bandit and kill him, and you're fairly low on HP, so you don't want to explore the rest of the cavern right now. You go back out, rest a while to get your health back up. You can go back into that cavern, and despite the fact that there are characters that are clearly on watch, none of them seem to be alerted by the fact that their ally is dead.
Yeah, right.
So I'm just amused by the concept that, like, one of them comes across and is just like, hey,
well,
Gary's dead.
Yeah, you talk about the world of Tamriel, and you've got skeletons that are animated, you've got necromancers, you've got undead. So maybe death just isn't quite, the finality that it is in our existence. So they're like, we'll see Gary later.
Right, it's more of a
little worse for wear, but we'll ask him what happened. And
yeah,
they should at least move his stuff out of the way. Maybe would be a good thing to do. But
I remember in Skyrim when I became a master thief, I had this ability where I could go up and if you attacked from behind, it was basically an instant kill. So kill a guy, then everybody would turn and get ready to shoot at me or whatever. But if I ducked, then there was a poof of smoke and I'm just instantly invisible. And then everyone looks for you for about 30 seconds and then gives up and goes back to patrolling and just wipe out entire castles like that. Just 30 seconds of panic from these people.
Just a slow motion Nightcrawler reenactment.
We'll never catch him now.
I did love that about Skyrim, and another thing I loved about Skyrim that sadly is not in Morrowind, and I don't think Oblivion has either, is the weapon crafting system, which I find a little bit weird in Morrowind, because you can actually find materials like raw ebony or raw glass, and you can't really do anything with them except use them as potion ingredients. There's no weapon making.
What? Wait a minute. You're putting glass in a potion?
Apparently.
Also,
that's not something that I've done. That's just something you can do.
Okay. Is raw glass a thing? It's you have to make... Well, I'm getting some autocompletes here. Raw glass smoking tip. This may be something else. That looks like marijuana. I think I've stumbled into a bit of images for joint, slim, blunt, turbo. Okay, it's drugs.
I'm sorry.
Never mind. Forget I said anything.
So I am playing a Nord, the Viking race.
Can you be a Catman?
You can be a Catman.
Catman's.
Catman!
I am too far
Khajiit.
into the game to go back. Khajiit.
Khajiit.
What about Lizard Guy?
You can be an Argonian.
Man. And you were, NPC number 3?
I thought there was a way with the console to change my race later if I felt like it. It doesn't seem to actually work for whatever reason, so I am stuck as a Nord.
You need to find a transmogrifier.
Yes, I do. I very much do.
We could just talk about Calvin and Hobbes the rest of the time. I don't think about it.
I like how they sled and it goes through the woods, and it's a magical sledding.
It's very good.
Usually, it's kind
As
of an
do I.
analogy for something else.
Usually some deep conversations going on the sled.
How about snow goons? Those snow goons were bad news.
Attack of the Killer Monster Snow Goons. But yes, I am pretty far into the game, despite the fact I have not actually completed the main quest or even gotten halfway through it.
Is this a game you've beaten before? I can't remember when we...
Yes, I have beaten this like 3 times.
Okay.
I've done the main quest like 3 times,
Yeah.
even though it's not the best experience. Skyrim, I think I beat the main quest twice, and Oblivion, I don't think I ever got through the main quest.
Okay.
It is just that unpleasant, in my personal opinion.
I got to High Hrothgar, and that's as far as I got. So
It's quite the journey up that mountain.
it was, and they said go do something, and I was like, okay. And then 20 hours later, I was like, what? You wanted me to what?
I was hoping the programmers had not deliberately actually programmed in 7,000 steps up to High Hrothgar, but it certainly felt like they had.
Well, you can't. I mean, not just anybody can get up
I
to High
think
Rock.
anytime I went to a mountain, I just like hopped sideways, so I don't remember. It just like glitched. Oh, stupid, because one thing Bethesda does not do is program carefully. But
Yeah.
okay.
But yes, I have... the goal of this playthrough was just to kind of play through as legitimately as possible, not search out any specific artifacts, even if I knew where they were, not think, oh, I know exactly where to find this weapon very early on, so just go do that. That way, when I found, like, full ebony armor, it was extremely exciting instead of being, oh, I already have Daedric, why would I care?
Gotcha. Wait, is ebony a real thing?
Yes, but it's a type of wood,
I say
not
that's
a type of metal.
okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, not a.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pick my tooth real fast. If that's okay.
Okay. Well, I
just realized I was doing that, and then Turtley could see me. I guess everybody who's gonna watch our stream either live or
yeah. All the on the VOD or Legion of fans. Dungeons.
Come on, that's your transition.
And dragons.
You're not even gonna try. Dragons.
Skyrim.
Dragons
And I believe you mentioned something vaguely dungeon-like in your cavern discussion. So if you think about it, Dungeons and Dragons.
Our viewers are asking for better transitions.
Okay. Deep in the cavern, you came across a dungeon.
Okay.
And you got through the dungeon, and you said, "Oh, who could be in this dungeon?"
There are actually dungeons in some of the caverns.
There
Morrowind.
were lots of skeletons who said, "Oh yeah, wait, till 2 games from now, there's going to be lots of dragons." So,
to be
if
fair,
you put...
there was a dragon in Oblivion.
Nope, I don't believe you.
It was only during the main plot.
Could you wrap? I mean, this was a very
okay. No, hang on. I can do it. Here's a good one. I'm rolling some dice. I got a 9. So, wait, let me check my modifier. Plus 0. I should level that skill up.
Yeah, you really should.
I should.
All right, Dave,
Yeah,
you have
9's
failed.
failure. I'm sorry.
You have failed one of your death saving throws. You have 2 more before you are dead.
Damn it.
So if this is gonna be like our schedule for the stream in the future, we might have to ixnay the D&D update because I've honestly lost track of where we were since last time.
You could just give us like what happened
the
most recent session. I think. Hopefully we can.
I'm getting a 20-sided die, so
Hopefully we can go more than once every 2 months. That's my hope. But for this one, let's just get back in the groove. Tell us what happened in the last sesh, or maybe which campaigns are you currently going with? Like which ones are going right now?
So we're kind of just randomly switching off because people have lots of different things going on in their lives right now. Sometimes people are not in the mood to DM.
Yes.
Because they've had an extremely stressful week. So I think since the last time we discussed this, we've got a campaign going where everyone in the group wants to overthrow a bunch of governments because every time the Dungeon Master describes a place we go to, it includes the descriptors tyrants and slave owners.
Oh, well, wow. Okay.
I guess I'd probably be on board to overthrow some governments too.
All of them, huh?
It seems to be a consistent pattern. And the weirdest part is this is like an established setting. This isn't just something he threw together. And of course, I feel like he is still at least partly to blame for continually sending us to...
Yeah, no, partly to blame. I would say entirely to blame, because this is a game made up entirely in his mind space.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Continuing with the Endless Dungeon, which is the kind of Silent Hill-esque place, one of the players decided to retire their character, and they got the bad end, where they became a pyramid head-like figure known as the Black Iron Tyrant.
How do you
retire a character?
Okay, when you say, how do you get a bad end? Do you like, all right, your character walks off in the sunset, roll a dice, and I rolled 100-sided dice, and that'll determine.
That's too
I
many
wrote
sides.
out 100 different endings.
That's too many sides.
I got 35.
The Dungeon Master had a couple of different ideas in mind for ways his character's plot could go based on decisions he would make. And so he decided he no longer wanted to play this character, but they still decided they wanted to finish out the story. The Dungeon Master spent like 15 minutes running him through the rest of what would have been his character's arc, and he continually made what would be like the bad choices in a Silent Hill game.
So it's like a really quick choose-your-own-adventure.
Yeah, it was a really quick choose-your-own-adventure where he became a ruler of this area of the dungeon known as the Black Iron Tyrant.
Now, retiring a character, here's what I'm imagining, and I hope it's true. I hope that as soon as that happened, something just went poof, and then there's another character next to you. Is that? And he just goes, "Hi guys, who's ready to adventure?" Is that it?
That is actually exactly the way things can happen in this dungeon, because that's kind of the point, that people can be pulled from anywhere at any time until the dungeon decides it is done with them.
Is this going to be a Doctor Who crossover where this is the Weeping Angels?
Possibly. I don't know what else the Dungeon Master has in mind at this point.
Okay, is everyone with me on the Doctor Who thing? Have people watched that episode?
I do know what you're talking about, yes.
Have you seen the episode?
I believe so, but it has been a very long time.
Okay. Fallon?
Hmm?
Have you seen that episode of Doctor Who?
No, I haven't watched any Doctor Who.
Fallon! It's very good. It's very
All
scary.
right.
It's very scary.
I've got to rewatch the Four Lights episode now.
Wow, it's very scary.
I
think it's
thought
on-
you didn't like
I
scary
think it's
stuff.
on Netflix. I don't usually, but it's British, so it's fine.
So now we know where
That's
Doc's
scary.
line is.
Yes.
Oh no, my crumpet's been. I can't really.
Nailed it. It's called Blink.
Um,
You should watch it.
I should rewatch it.
Yes.
The last, well, in that campaign, we are dealing with like the background of another character right now. There's an evil person in this dungeon that wants to be the favored of the demon lord that's associated with this character's family. And so this person wants to kill this character so that he can gain the favor of the demon lord. And
Sure, makes sense.
As you do.
and this villain is a lich, so I'm sure that is not a surprise that a lich would have evil intentions, particularly appeasing some sort of demon lord.
Driven mad by the transition to lichdom and their thirst for power,
Mhm.
they seek now to. Yeah.
So we have to defeat the lich in battle and then find their phylactery and destroy it so that they are gone forever.
Phylactery.
Yes, D&D uses the word phylactery,
Right.
whereas Harry Potter uses the word Horcrux.
Right. There's the journal, and then there's the thing that was that.
The snake was a tricky one.
The snake.
That was a tricky one. There was the locket. Journal locket. Wait.
There's 7, right?
Cup. There's a cup.
Yeah.
A
Yes.
diadem.
Yep.
That's about 7. And the trick was the 7th one was love, and that they had it inside themselves all the time.
The last 2 were Slytherin's ring and Harry himself.
Oh, the ring. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Does fuck all in that entire series.
Harry Potter.
Sorry, I listened to those books too much, and I realized that Harry Potter does fucking nothing.
This school has the worst
It doesn't.
safety standards for any school I could ever imagine. It's a
Nothing.
miracle they aren't all dead.
The series is fine for what it is, which is a series you're supposed to read when you're growing up. But as going back and looking at it as an adult, it has many, many, many flaws.
Biggest flaw that hero wasn't named
Port keys are stupid.
Fallon. I didn't
Uh,
like. What didn't I like? I didn't like the thing that got him go back in time. I thought that was dumb.
The time turner.
the time turner.
Boy, they could have used that for so many important things.
No, but there's that government agency, Valen, that totally, you know, had
they
control.
approved it so she could take more classes. How fucking stupid is that?
That's pretty stupid.
Well, I think what's even dumber is that the way the author addressed the issue is that outside of the book, like she in like an interview, somebody asked them about the time turners, and her response was just, during the 5th book, when they were in the Department of Mysteries, they accidentally destroyed all of the time turners, even though I didn't actually put that in the book.
Classic.
Yeah. I hate when you destroy all your time. You know, somebody should be constantly like using the time turner to make sure that they can't all be destroyed, kind of thing, right?
You'd think there'd be a prime time turner just for that purpose.
But good God.
This is
The Dementors were scary, right? So.
the Dementors
Yeah.
were terrifying.
The Patronus paradox was fun. I
But,
cast it because I'd already casted it.
Yeah,
This
well,
is-
that's one of my least favorite one. I thought that was going to be the best one, and then it was time travel, and I was so upset.
This is why I have the very firm stance of you never open the time travel box. You never use it. You never use it as the solution to your plot, because otherwise it requires so much.
Unless
I've never seen somebody use time travel as the solution to a plot that was done well.
Boy, no one's. Yes, Back to the Future. Thank you.
In my defense, which is really not a defense, now that I think about it, I have not actually seen Back to the Future.
You haven't seen Back to the.
I gotta say, I don't like
Chuck
2 and
Blade!
3. I think Back to the Future, the first one, is excellent.
I will watch it either tonight or tomorrow.
Hang on.
You'll really enjoy it.
To Netflix!
Also, John Mulaney's skit about Back to
Oh,
the
gosh, so good.
is incredible.
So good.
So there's this kid, and he's got his best friend, right? And he's a nuclear.
Best friend is, a disgraced nuclear physicist.
I'm confused. Is this another child at the school, or
No, this guy's 40 or 80. No one knows how old this guy is. They build a time machine. Whoa. Oh, okay. Then they build a time machine and they go back and they stop the Kennedy assassination. Oh. That's a really good idea. We didn't think about that. Well, what does he do? Well, now I don't want to say. No, okay. Well, we thought it'd be fun. We thought it'd be fun for people if he went back in time and tried to fuck his mom. We thought that'd be fun for people. No, right, yeah, he doesn't get to.
So good.
Very good. The third one is on Netflix, which is not super helpful to what we're talking about.
I hate when Netflix does that.
Third one's fun, but yeah.
Third one's fun, but you need it's just not that. It also is very. You got to watch the first one because
yes,
it's not quite the same as a Lord of the Rings type situation, but it is very. I mean, because they obviously made the first one and didn't have any idea it was going to be quite successful enough. No. They left it on a cliffhanger, but you could tell that they didn't really have the.
That was a good line. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Great line.
Good line. Speaking of where we're going, games.
To the game store for the next game.
To the game purveyor. The game monger, as I like to call him.
Doc, I see you're back. I have searched far and wide for this. But delve not too deeply into its electronic chapters. For some men find. Anyway, what are you guys buying next? But you have a budget of $3.
Okay. I think I'm getting mine as a birthday gift, so that fits for me.
What is that?
Animal Crossing New Horizons? I don't remember what the subtitle is. Animal Crossing. Gonna build my island. Gonna get some animals on it. Gonna dig up fossils. I'm gonna fish. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna ignore the rest of the outside world. It'll be wonderful. I could use it now, but I can wait a week, I guess.
A lot of people excited about that Animal Crossing.
Yes, a lot of people really counting on Animal Crossing.
Who's the... Yeah, really pull us out of all... I mean, we can make a delicious fake world where there's no coronavirus and everybody can...
Exactly. I can catch bugs.
Can I come out and hang out in your Animal Crossing?
Yeah, if you get a Switch. And Animal Crossing. Yep.
But I can, come chill in your...
You can.
Can I build a house? How do you...
I don't know if you can build...
Am I just given a house?
If you come and live next to me in the real world, we could share the Switch, and then you could build a house on my island. I don't know about the other thing. Maybe.
Build this house with your bare paws.
No. What you do is you go to Tom Nook, and you say, I am willing to enter into a soul contract.
Right. I won't have to
and he
pay
says, good.
Yeah.
Good. See that it is done. I mean, he doesn't really, put a lot of effort into collecting it. He'll just be like, hey, whenever you got it, that's cool. So that's,
He's already gotten the most important prize of all.
Yeah. So.
Immortal spirit.
Yeah. And, it's a cool house, so it's probably worth it. But
I heard in this one they really up a lot of like having him do the satanic rituals. They're not so much the background this time. Like he's making a lot of pagan.
yeah, I haven't delved into the fan theories about the breaking down those trailers, but I like to be surprised. That first night on the island when you're captive.
Are you ever able to solve what's another character's
name? Isabel.
And
people are very excited about Isabel.
Isabel's murder. I mean,
Isabel is a champion in Super Smash Brothers, so good luck taking her out.
Okay, give me another character.
Oh Isabel's boy, Rossetti. Oh, actually, Tortimer. People are speculating that Tortimer might be dead because it looks like there might be able to solve. Probably not. But I think there's a grave on the island, and people think it's Tortimer, which would be a bummer because I always enjoyed taking his boat to another island in the 3DS game, and he'd sing fun songs to you in the Animal Crossing voice.
Well, the most important lesson that Animal Crossing teaches all of us is that death comes for us all, and the true Animal Crossing is from this life into the next. So it makes sense they finally get around to killing off the character.
Yes, right, very much so. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, very harsh lessons in Animal Crossing. There's fishing tournaments. It's a delightful game, guys. I can't. I put like 100 hours into the last one.
Well, I would, if I could like hang out with people in the animal world, and so I'd need a Switch. I would definitely get it. Junkblade, what are you buying next?
All right, so I actually have two responses because one is heavily dependent on somebody having a PlayStation 4 they can loan me.
Sure.
Because the first one is Bloodborne, because it's a Souls-like game. I've played something from every other series in the Souls-like games from Software. I would like to play this one. It is only available on PlayStation 4.
Behold, Junkblade, that which you desire is in my possession.
Yes, but I would have to, drive to where you live, and that is not a viable option right now. The other thing that comes to mind, because I saw it was on Steam for $10, Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Nice.
Ooh.
Just an oldie but a goodie that I have not played in a very long time, and I don't believe we have our GameCube copy anymore. I would like to play that again.
I have that as well, Junkblade.
I think Doc is trying to heavily hint that I need to get a week off from life and just visit him and play games.
I have all these within arm's reach. I'm knocking GameCube games off right now. The shelf.
I will, of course, be purchasing The Most Dangerous Game, the famous short story by Richard Connell.
Okay.
Also known as The Hounds of Zaroff.
Really?
Published in Collier's. That's according to the first line out of Wikipedia.
The Hounds of Zaroff? And that's not the name we know it by? What are we doing here?
How great would it be if people were talking about the Hounds of Zaroff and that was a popular lexicon?
How much time have we wasted? Most dangerous game. Stupid shit. God.
And spoiler alert, the most dangerous game of all is actually Super Mario Strikers. People get really invested.
I'll tell you, yeah, one of the few games I have spent an all-nighter doing is Super Mario Strikers. No joke. That game will fuck you up.
I think it's safe to say that people get invested in any multiplayer Mario game.
Oh man, that one's the good stuff.
That was at the bachelor party this weekend.
Oh really?
Oh, okay,
nice. Well, related to Junkblade's thing, I'm going to recommend Humble. If you do the Humble monthly thing, they now have this thing, and you and I were talking about this, Junkblade, earlier, where they have this collection of 90 games that are also free, and it's a bunch of old stuff that's really so I just downloaded X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance, Star Wars Rebellion, like the original Wasteland, like all for and like so. The monthly thing, it's like $12 a month, and you get 10 games, I think, something like that. And you can pause it, like I've done it for months at a time, where I'll pause it so it doesn't charge you. Because you get like a kind of sneak preview at a couple of the games that are going to be offered, and I kind of decide from then if that is going to be a month I want to do it. But the addition of this kind of treasure trove of free games is also a pretty good sweetener to that deal. So if anyone wants to play X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, it should be everybody. That's
well, and that
how you
almost wraps up our hour, so we're going to use this next 60 seconds to take all of your questions.
Are we gaming tonight? Yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
When do we talk about Fable? We talk about Fable in episodes
42.
Yeah. So you're going to want to look that one up.
28.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
28.
those two.
The secret episode.
Oh yeah, definitely the secret episode. Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, so make sure you subscribe, and you'll get that content as soon as we create it. And let's see.
Because that's when we talked about it, Curly. 40, like Val and I were on the episode. Of course, we knew it was 42.
What is?
Wow, I can't believe it. No faith from the Curly. Ask us one last question to wrap up episode 58. Well, with
And you can tell we're gonna game because I've got my Street Fighter headband on and my
Yeah, we're
MLG wristband.
fucking
So I'm
rock
ready to fucking
roll,
game.
baby.
We're gonna fucking game.
Hey, keep going, Junk Blade. Sorry, I'm gonna roll this 100-sided dice when you talk.
I was just gonna ask what everyone is going to play in between now and the next time we podcast.
Oh, the eternal question.
You only have to pick one game.
I mean, it might be Animal Crossing based on our frequency. So,
That's fair.
Good news, guys. I rolled a 98.
oh fuck yeah.
So wow, that's really
Very
nice.
nice.
Serious question from Curly. How will coronavirus affect gaming?
And that's all the time we have. Oh man.
Or this has been No Shots Fired podcast episode 58. Well, everyone, wash your hands, stay safe out there. Don't go places unless you have to. So keep gaming, and if you
Keep
need people to game with,
Gaming.
find some fucking friends. But
We don't have infinite free time. We can't help everybody.
Don't come begging us. Jesus Christ. Until next time, farewell.